another band. All the Mars and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag baggy. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
What's going on, people? Welcome in to another episode of the Stay Within Show, presented to you by iBoxingHub in association with our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. I'm joined by Ray, and I don't know how to start this. I'm gonna let you take the floor. Like, go on. You can have
don't lose your voice now.
2-minute glow. No, hey, listen. I said to you, nobody's gonna get me on the show. Look, I am wearing my flag with pride. I am not ashamed. I am not ashamed of what happened over the weekend. But let's go into it. It's Canelo, it's Crawford. Crawford, for me now, is the pound-for-pound best. He has the greatest win I'll ever see in boxing, which obviously we're going to dissect a little bit. But your thoughts on the fight in general and what you thought about Crawford's performance?
You're not getting off the hook that easily, but
nobody's getting me. There's nobody that can get me.
Listen, we've got to keep you honest. I told you. I kept on telling you, and you kept on going on like it can't happen, it won't happen. All the coulda, woulda, shouldas, and he didn't. My guy, Bud Crawford, said, yo, I'm going to come up 2 weight classes, and he was boxing's karma for your guy constantly ditching, facing Benavidez. That is what happened.
Wait, so
that is what happened.
This is the problem.
It's karmic energy from the time he started facing easier opponents in Munguia.
And is there anything wrong with that?
Who's the other guy? Skull. Even though, do you know what? I'm happy he faced Skull because he allowed my boy to become 3-time undisputed champion.
So all of a sudden, because it fits your narrative, you're happy that he fought William Skull?
No. Listen, you shouldn't have been fighting Skull. But I'm glad under the circumstances of some of the most nastiest ducking we've seen in recent history by an undisputed champion. I was happy that, you know what? Thank you for avoiding Benavidez because it led to my boy Bud being able to show his greatness. From round 1, Bud came in there. He established the jab. He let the Canelo know that, listen, whatever range you want to fight in, I'm here. You know, long range, medium range, short range. Crawford said, I'm up for the challenge. And I think, you know, sometimes Canelo was landing that body shot flush. And I think in his mind, he's probably thinking that normally, you know, scares away opponent. And listen, Crawford was in good condition. And for me, up to like the 6th round, I had it potentially 6-0, at worst 5-1 for Canelo. And that's being generous. And from then on, I just knew, I knew that Crawford is way too disciplined to let this go, to let this slip. And my goodness, did my boy live up to the hype. So
let's break down.
He brought justice for...
No. There's no justice. He did it for his own.
No. He did.
No justice to the boxing world.
I'm claiming it. I'm claiming that.
There's no justice for the boxing world. He just went and did a performance for himself. And credit to Canelo Alvarez for allowing him to have the opportunity to take this fight and be able to basically set himself financially.
This is so nasty.
Did Canelo have the opportunity, most likely, to reject fighting Terrence Crawford?
Did Canelo duck his mandatory with Benavidez?
I mean, like I've always said, because
Canelo duck his mandatory with Benavidez?
Allow me to respond to that before we talk about Crawford, because I want this to be about Crawford, not about Benavidez. But since you want to go down that route, the fact that Benavidez had opportunities in the past and let them slip for his own reasons, nobody else's.
No. We're not talking about that.
Because I'll tell you why.
He paid his dues. He took his suspension like a man.
No. I'll tell you why. No. Wait. I'm gonna tell you why. Wait.
We're not talking about the past transgressions.
Yeah, but the reason why the past transgressions work here is Canelo Alvarez, as we all know, is the only elite fighter that fights twice a year. There's not a lot of other people that do that. Now, when you fight twice a year, you want to show up for the people that are paying the money. Benavidez, unfortunately, can't be trusted, and you never know what could happen with him. So, simply for that reason,
I will lock off this live right now. Stop it.
No, but that is a good thought process.
How can someone not be trusted if
your
excuse could run? Your nasty excuse could run.
Do you trust Gervonta Davis to fight? Do you trust Gervonta Davis to fight?
This was straight after his suspension, then fair enough.
Irrelevant.
He'll be justified. He had fought like 3 or 4 times by the time he was ready.
And the fifth could may well be the fact that.
So let's not say he can't be trusted, because when he faced Plant, he could be trusted. When he faced Andrade, he could be trusted. Whoever he faced after, he could be trusted. So let's not do the could he be trusted.
That is my thought. No.
Canelo was on the tail end of his career,
and that's fine.
Because of his power, he was hoarding, and he thought, let me take this fight against Bud Crawford.
He gave an opportunity, and Terence Crawford took advantage of it.
Like he was bragging about, because people can go on previous episodes, when you start saying, when Canelo gets through him, you're not going to give him his credit because he's a lower weight guy. Yes, exactly. He took the fight because 1, fair enough, it was a big money fight. But
exactly, 2, financially we've settled.
It was financially more winnable. He saw it as a more winnable fight than Benavidez. And
financially, we have settled. We have now officially settled Terence Crawford and his family for life.
This is so nasty. Don't. Crawford, I'm sure, has had big paydays regardless.
Bigger than this?
No, I never said that. But it's like when people are just like, he set himself up for life. Yeah, I'm sure the money, that
Canelo give you an opportunity to receive.
20 mil, the reported 20 mil that he got from the Spence fight, I'm sure got him good money. Now, is this a nice little cash on top? Absolutely. But let's not go on like Crawford was some brat guy.
For me, I've never said that. I've never said that.
Let's not do that.
But when you fight the money man, it sets you up in a different way.
But once you go off, once you secure a certain amount of money, you're set regardless.
I would say Canelo
he already
money
made his piece. You're being shameless right now, trying to get moral victory from this.
Because I was going to sit here. My boy went it's probably 67 fight.
Your boy got beat fair and square,
and that's fine.
Your boy got beat fair and square.
That's fine.
He's still a legend.
Of course he is.
But please, the way he's conducted himself in the latter part of his career is someone who was hoarding, and it backfired. And that's okay. He lost to a special talent. That is okay. He lost a special talent.
Yeah, I would not say special talent. But we don't need to bring up another fighter. We don't need to bring up Benavidez when we're here sitting and we can eulogize about Terence Crawford. I'm more than happy to do that.
Benavidez,
but the moment you do that, I can be nasty.
Is facing Canelo because of Benavidez, partially.
Absolutely not.
Partially. Because
Crawford is facing Canelo based off his own merit and his own.
Now he's his own merit. Before, when he was a lower weight class guy, you weren't talking like this. Abbas,
no.
We will literally go to episodes of prior. Don't do this.
No. I still give him. He still has merit to fight. But my whole point being is
Crawford before you was denouncing
Canelo complimentary.
You was putting him in the same bracket as Charlo. That's what you was doing.
A 154-pound fighter who was a champion.
And I kept on telling you, and you even tried to make fun of me because you always said how you were saying before about but when Charlo was facing Canelo, you always thought that Charlo could be a wild card. I did, and then you spoke on Crawford in that same vein, sarcastically, and I kept on telling you this is different.
There are a lot of similarities between Charlo and Crawford. There's a lot of similarities between Charlo and Crawford.
What similarities? Other than being from a different lower weight class, what similarities? There's no similarities.
Both champions at the division, both moving up 2 weight classes to fight.
That's what I said. Other than that, there's no similarities.
That was my similarities. No,
it wasn't. You were speaking from a place of you think he's not going to do what he done and he's going to lay an egg like Charlo.
You're right. Neither did Canelo.
I kept on telling you, my boy is cut from a different cloth. And
you also told me. You also told me back in the day Nope.
You are coming up with more excuses than Canelo himself.
No, I'm not. I've literally. The only thing I am saying is we don't need to bring up a David Benavidez to talk about Terence Crawford.
You're right, because he's at light heavyweight, and Canelo really wants it. If Canelo wants that belt, he can go up to light heavyweight and get one.
No, we'll talk about Canelo soon. What I genuinely think will happen, but yeah, shout out to Terence Crawford.
You think Canelo's gonna go up to Benavidez now?
No. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
I know what's gonna happen at 168. We're gonna get
no. I said he was speaking about going up to light heavy, and I'm sure he won't face Benavidez.
He may well do.
He's got a belt. I'm sure he don't want to.
We may well do, but we'll see. But the actual fight itself. Look, I know what you said, so I will explain why I scored it the way I did. But again, I did that on a second watch. And I gave Canelo a couple of swing rounds, but from
you would
no. I had to think about it. Gave him the 2 swing rounds that I had. That was it. And then he had 1, 2.
How many altogether did you give him?
3.
That's respectable.
Yeah. I said it from round 6 onwards, it was all Bud Crawford. And I said what surprised me, or what I also appreciated from him was when he would go back into the corner, there's a few clips, but two stick into my mind, which were go use your double jab. He came out the next round, used his double jab instantly, was able to was effective against Canelo. Then after the 5th, when Canelo had a bit of pressure and it was like, okay, maybe the tide could be turning here, his team just go out, listen, you need to go do this for us. Guess what? I'm going to go do that and deliver. And the way he delivered, he came out and took center of the ring and was able to assert himself there. Even when he was backed up against the ropes, pivot, I'm controlling the center of the ring. But for me, the 2 telling points were Canelo, for me, was not actually doing anything with his shots. He was just loading up. He was firing blanks. And it just looked desperate. That was the first time ever in a Canelo Alvarez fight, especially when Canelo became Canelo Alvarez. I was like, oh, okay, he looks desperate here. And I've got my reasons for that a little bit outside of what Bud did. But the other part was round 10. Round 10 for me, I just sat back and thought, right, the game's done. And that was Crawford comes out, center of the ring. He's tapping this man's gloves. He's tapping it not as if to say, I just want to get... It was like, I'm tapping the gloves because I'm in control. And then Canelo dropped his hands in a way where he wasn't in control. He was just tired. Wanted it done, get it out of the way. And I thought, you know what? Them little points that were so telling for me into where Bud Crawford is right now versus where Canelo is right now. And I'm not going to say it was sad to see or anything like that, because I celebrate Canelo every time I watch him. And I celebrate him more now with the flag. But it was just a real telling sign to be like, okay, your body might be tired. Like, it genuinely might be tired. And I don't know where you want to do it, because I know he wants to fight apparently for 37.
Eric, tell him again.
What? No. It didn't. No. Let me understand. It wasn't that. It wasn't that it took 10 rounds. No, I knew from round 6 the fight's done. My whole point was round 10 was so telling to me that Terence Crawford felt so much in control and Canelo dropped his hands. That was my thing. I had never seen that in a Canelo Alvarez fight.
I just like the clarification. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, I'm sitting here being very honest. I watched the fight half an hour after.
It's a change.
No. You got to realize, if my fighter comes out and makes no excuses, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for him.
So what if Canelo made excuses?
I would look at why he's made the excuse.
So shameful.
No. Because you got to realize,
this is the same guy that tried to say that Fury potentially won either of the fights against him.
No, but that was it. I could justify that if I whip back and watch the fight. Because remember, I watched the fight back like 45, 50 minutes later, I think, after the press conference. Because I was waiting for Inoue. I was like, let me rewatch it back. Because he said he's not done anything and he's just got a beat. Cool. Let me rewatch and have a look. When I watched it, I was like, you know what? He said it. Watching the fight back, there's nothing. When Tyson does it, if there is something, I can accept it and I will look it back and analyze it again. But that's my whole take. Like, and I've had my reasons for why Canelo is in the position he is, or why he fought the way he did. A lot was to Terence Crawford, but two, the actual skill set of the opponents he's fought in the past haven't made him raise his level to potentially a point now where.
Wait, who's that? Sorry,
the opponents he's fought in the past.
No, who fought?
Canelo.
What was the? So, are you trying to say that Canelo didn't have options of any higher skilled opponents?
No, I'm just saying just his opponents.
Oh no, I'm asking you that question.
I don't know. I'm not sat here. I'm not.
Are you saying?
I'm not Al Heyman. I don't know.
Are you saying
nope,
that
I'm not saying that.
Canelo could have had higher?
Nope.
Talented opponents.
I'm just saying everyone at 168 is not close to him.
I'm asking you.
No,
do you
I don't think so.
There was opposition that were more talented than Berlanga?
No, because he went through 168 for fun.
Was there more talented opposition than Berlanga and Munguia that Canelo could have faced?
Can you name me 3?
There's not 3. There's just the one that he avoided.
Okay, so
why do you need 3? Why do you need 3 if there's 1?
Give me 2 then, because you've just named me 2 opponents.
Who?
You've named me Munguia and Berlanga.
Yeah.
Name me 2 other replacement opponents.
I don't need 2 others because you're talking about he hasn't faced higher skilled guys.
No,
there was one right there and he was ducking him.
Okay. He
in
wasn't
the words of
necessarily
Booker T, Shaki, quack.
Listen, we don't know. We don't know what.
What do you mean? You don't know what?
I don't know the contractual side of things. I don't know if anything.
What's contractual? I'm asking you, are they better skilled than Benavidez? Are they more accomplished than Benavidez?
Realistically, what Benavidez accomplished at 168?
Benavidez is 2 times champ, even if twice removed at 168, as well as a champion at 175. Neither of those other names have achieved that.
Okay, so when they do eventually achieve that, when they achieve that,
when the option is available and he doesn't choose it,
I don't know if it was available. I think the idea is that you believe it's available. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes for that not to be available. That's all I'm gonna say on that. No, I've got shame. I've got a lot of shame. I've got a lot of shame. My whole thing is maybe the opponents that he was facing didn't test him enough.
He chose to face people that were not available. So he chose to face people over someone that was highly capable and available.
No,
he chose that.
Like I said,
and then he tried to run away from it and say, "Oh, well, if you don't have the money for it, fair enough." But then he went on to take fights that weren't going to generate more money anyway, which is the funnier thing. If Canelo,
everything becomes subjective on money. The reason is we don't know.
Is Munguia going to really generate more money than Benavidez?
Do we know what? Well, let's be honest. What has David Benavidez really generated?
What has Munguia generated? One of them's done pay-per-view. No. Guess what? Do you know what I can say? One of them's done pay-per-view. So guess what? Yes, Benavidez has generated more than Munguia.
Listen, Fabio Wally is about to do pay-per-view. What does that mean?
You just asked what have they generated. I'm telling you.
Okay.
One of them, whether high or low, has generated something.
Okay. Fabio Wally is about to do thingy.
Has generated nothing. In comparison,
okay,
have they achieved anything?
They are more marketable, yes, 100%.
But that doesn't. Marketable?
David Benavidez is more marketable to be able to go on pay-per-view.
He's more achieved, and he's literally generated more because he's had to headline. So stop with the nonsense.
No, that's not the point. Again, back to my point about Canelo. The only thing I would say is possibly looking back, maybe the activity was a lot. And
he touched Bivol at 168 as well. I forgot that.
Forget Bivol. Bivol is whatever. Got a fake injury. He got a fake injury, got an operation to avoid Benavidez, but that's beside the point.
He did. And his charges at 175. But when Bivol beat him at 175 after trying to talk to him, he said, "I'll come down to 168." And you know what? That's one of the few times I agreed with Canelo ducking because I said, you know what, that is a guy higher weight class. He just beat him at his weight class and he doesn't want to face him. But then you start dragging your knuckles and dragging your power and holding all the belts. And my thing is, like I've always said, I didn't even mind Canelo using his power to do certain things. But it was the fact that if you're undisputed, then you have to defend the belts against the rightful people. And at the end of the day, like I always said, if Canelo dropped some of those belts and said, you know what, you lot have the belts, I'm Canelo.
Well, he's definitely dropped them now.
Huh?
He didn't drop
them. They got taken. Don't ever disrespect Crawford like that.
I didn't, but they are dropped.
Crawford went in there and took them. He didn't drop them. He took them.
They're gone. But we're gonna get them back. But that's why
you're going on like Canelo. They said, "Oh, do you know what? I don't want these belts no more." Crawford, you want these? No. Crawford went in there and he said, "Those belts."
Yeah, he goes here. I'm gonna give you an opportunity.
Hey, Abbas, look at me.
What?
Crawford's the captain now.
We'll see. We'll see who.
We'll see. He did it. There's no.
He did do it. No. Hear me out. What have I said constantly? If you beat Canelo Alvarez in his weight class, that's the greatest win I'll ever see in boxing. Still stand by that. What did I open up with? Terence Crawford's the pound for pound number one. I've not sat here and not give him his props. My whole thing is we don't need to involve the fake Mexican for you to get excited.
No.
Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing in November against Anthony Yard.
You're changing the narrative. The narrative was no. I said there's two things that you're changing the narrative of. Yes, you gave Crawford his props. Like they're laughing at the comments. You just tried to say that Canelo dropped those belts. He didn't drop those belts. Canelo had those belts taken from him. Two, I said one of the reasons, partially the reason for this fight even happening is because Canelo was choosing all the options
Canelo gave
the leaders, which is true. Hence why we're even here. So that's why I said I'm glad, even though Crawford didn't do it for that reason, I'm glad that Crawford gave him the comeuppance because how he was running the game was very nasty. Very nasty.
I've got nothing.
Crawford, no. What did I say? I said in the group chat, and
congratulations, you got one right. You also told me. You also told me. No, you also told me AJ part 3. You also told me AJ part 3 was coming after.
Abbas
wait, who did he knock out? Francis Ngannou.
Fish fried.
Hey, you also told me AJ part 3 is coming, and then we saw what happened with that.
What's AJ part 3?
I don't know. You tell me, because when you beat Francis Ngannou, you told me AJ part 3 is on its way.
Yeah, I did. And guess what? And
you
when
AJ
lost, I made no excuses. I said,
and am I sitting here making excuses?
I said, nope. But guess what?
Wait.
At no point,
am I making excuses?
At no point did that
am
fight
I making excuses?
AJ was ducking.
Am I making excuses? Am I making excuses for Canelo? I'm making excuses for Canelo.
Anyone can say AJ.
Am I making excuses for Canelo?
Let them know. True.
No. I'm gonna bring the comments up, but I'm gonna ask you one question: am I making excuses for Canelo losing to Crawford?
You're making excuses on the narratives.
Absolutely not. I've just turned around and told you greatest victory of ever.
No, I never said that. I said on
what
the
narrative? What narrative?
Abbas, I'm not doing this. Have some shame.
No, there is zero
Abbas,
shame.
Have some shame.
I've got all the shame in the world.
I'm put you in the comments. They heard you in the comments saying that Canelo dropped those belts. We've already got you.
No, that's fine. It's all good. But
this is live. You know they can go back and rewind.
They can go back and do everything, because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is sitting here telling you, congratulations, Terence Crawford. Congratulations on the greatest win boxing will ever see. You are the pound for pound number one. I do also think Canelo Alvarez fighting twice a year, unlike other fighters, not just Crawford, others, might have been a hindrance looking back at it. But
are you saying 2 times a year is a hindrance?
Well, I mean, look at certain other fighters that fight
is
once
2 times a year a hindrance? Definitely. Inouye's about to do 4 fights, pound for pound, great right now, and you're telling me 2 fights is a hindrance?
I mean,
Abbas, have some shame.
No. The reason why you can't. How many fights has Inoue had
this year?
No, just in general, in life. In terms of profession.
But he's coming up to 4.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Yeah, fine. Are you ready for this?
I'm not
Canelo
trying to hear
Alvarez.
about Canelo has 60 signed fights
No,
because
I'm not saying that.
Guess what?
He's been a
If you are
professional.
undisputed, tough luck, defend those belts.
No, he has been a professional longer than any other thing that he's done. It's not like he turned at 26 or 24 or 23. This dude started at 15. He was a teenager.
You're right in saying he's got 60 signed pro fights, yeah. But the same way,
And then I think I don't know how many
fighters that have
amateur.
had hundreds of amateur fights that don't get recorded. Either way, your body's going through the ringer. So please,
I think your body would you say your body goes to the ringer more when you get older or when you're younger?
What you wanna? He's had less fights as he got older.
Yeah, no, but the point being is, tell me another fighter at 35, 36, whatever, that is fighting twice a year.
I can't think off the top of my head.
Exactly. It's very unlikely. That's my whole point. Like Crawford look fresher.
Retire.
No, this is the problem. What you don't.
If it's too much, retire.
It's not too much. It's not too much.
You know, I'm not trying to hear that excuse. My boy B-Hop my boy B-Hop took some licks at an older age and then got belts back, even older.
Yeah, so we may get that was my whole point. We may get a belt back, which is what I was going to go into. But look,
so then you can't wait. You've got to pick a side. It's either you're too old to sustain it, or you're young enough to get some belts. What is it?
Let me land there. Let me land. If you're gonna give me a bit of time,
and like Eric said, and you still picked him to win. So I'm not trying to hear this.
No. I will always listen. I always pick. There's one fighter I may not pick Canelo to beat.
This wasn't a point beforehand until you're looking for excuses.
No. There's always a justification for it. But my whole point, that's actually not just a potential realization once you actually watch the fight.
It's so nasty.
No, it's true. It's true. I can sit here with full chest and say, congratulations, Crawford. Maybe we need to look at Canelo's activity going forward. And if he wants to sustain it, maybe do
a year.
Maybe do the model.
Let me see what Bernard Hopkins was doing at that age, because you're pissing me off now.
No.
Stay right there.
I'm asking you right now.
You're saying activity for an older guy. Let me see what B-Hop was doing.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Because obviously you got guys like you're in big trouble.
Go for it. And let me know what he was accomplishing in them fights, or what his thingy was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 46 years old.
Yep.
He won the belt from John Pascal. 46 years old, so that's 10 years older.
Yep.
That same year, he fought Chad Dawson.
Okay.
That next year, he took an L against Chad Dawson.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yep. So he took another L.
Next year after that, at 48.
Yep.
He fought 2013 March Tavoris Cloud, won IBF light heavyweight title. That same year, he defended his belt in October.
So you fought 2 times a year. I respect it.
Yeah. So then I'm not trying to hear about Canelo then.
No, because I'm trying to say in right now modern boxing. Let's just use
that is modern boxing. What are you on about?
No, 2016 is not that modern, bro. In 2016, there's a full generation that have been born.
Abbas, get out of here.
No, but it's true.
You know what's worse here?
What?
B-Hop was in his late 40s doing this. So I'm not trying to hear that.
I mean, how many fights did B-Hop end up with his career?
Let's see.
You got the record right there?
67 fights. How about that one?
Look what Canelo's
How about that one?
Look what Canelo's on right now. Look what Canelo's on right now.
You're contradicting yourself, because not only did
he have breaks?
Not only did B-Hop go into 60 fights, he done it at an older age. So I'm not trying to hear that, Abbas. Stop.
Look,
yes, I hear it. True, I hear it. B-Hop is the alien, but regardless, it's the fact that Abbas tried to go on like it's never been done.
My whole point isn't that it's never been done before. This is where what you're able to do is take another anomaly and just use it to back your point. My whole point is, if you look at certain fighters that are I mean, we can use the reason I was saying it was, if you look at Crawford, no fault of his own to a point, but he's been able to re-energize his body, etc. That helps. If you look at Canelo, you go from fight 1, which is let's say May finish that fight, you may get a month and a bit as a holiday. You're then potentially into contract negotiations back in the gym, leaning towards that September payday, getting into camp for that.
That's crazy. It almost sounds like he's a boxer.
Yeah, but do you know what's crazy? People that fight, once every 18 months. Yeah, I know, but those that fight once every 18 months is crazy as well. But that's beside the point. And now what we're gonna have is
the funny thing is, maybe you can put Crawford once again in an anomaly pile because that's normally not good. Inactivity normally kills.
I know, but in this weird scenario that we're in, the inactivity and probably to a point, the quality of opponents that Crawford had, he was able to try at 154 and see where his body felt at that. Obviously, at 168 it's a different ballgame.
What about the quality? Madrimov is a very game opponent.
No, that's what I mean. The quality of his opponents towards the fight leading up to Canelo.
Are we punishing Crawford for facing better opponents?
We're not. We're just saying that them quality of opponents has probably helped him more than Canelo, who probably did slack a bit based on the fact that he's been able to beat the rest. That's all I'm saying.
No, not beat the rest. He didn't beat the rest. He chose to not face the best.
He beat the rest of the guys that he fought and beat them.
He not face the best.
But that
have some shame. It's okay.
I have all the shame in the world.
That same person that he ducked has now gone on to light heavyweight, and he's not going to have to. He's not scaring Canelo no more. It's okay. You can rest. He's out of witness protection.
I promise you.
And Avides is at light heavyweight with a belt because
zero worry.
Because guess what?
That is zero worry. There is zero worry of me with David Benavidez.
Is so good that he went on to get another belt. The other people that he faced, one of them failed the drugs test, and the other one is celebrating an L. That's what happened to Berlanga. He was so nonsense that he lost that fight and went on a celebratory tour.
But what have I said?
Those are the guys he chose to face.
I'm here simply appreciating Canelo.
Benavidez was worse off than them.
We'll see what Benavidez carries on doing when he fights Anthony Yarde.
Carries on doing. He went on to get a belt. What are you on about?
Oh, so if Canelo also did that before, and then he just dropped back down to 168 when he beat Kovalev. What did we celebrate Canelo's victory against Kovalev, or did we just say job done like normal? I cannot remember.
It was a bit of both. Because guess what? And this is why what Crawford's done is even more greater. Crawford, as the B side, doesn't get to tell anyone to put on a rehydration clause. He doesn't get to tell anyone to do any other stipulations or pick gloves.
Where have I
as a B side, and he said, "Yo, I'm going out there to be great."
In the 32 minutes and 24 seconds we've been live, have I discredited anything Crawford's done?
No, I'm not saying you're discrediting Crawford. I am giving Crawford the credit because he's the B side. And what I'm saying is, you give him credit based off your hate for Canelo.
Me, I gave him credit based on.
There's not hate for Canelo. It's being objective and truthful.
If this isn't hate, then I don't know what hate is.
This can't be hate.
This is hate.
You know what? You know why I despise this year? Because I like Canelo. This is what hurts me.
Listen,
I like Canelo. I was watching. I told you. I've mentioned it plenty of times. Canelo special to me because I remember being at uni and seeing this guy, but he's not going to get no paid after being disrespectful. What is this being disrespectful? Is boxing. What is being unless
Teofimo Lopez is a prick.
In a way, unless you're out here going on like Teofimo Lopez. I'm not trying to hear being disrespectful because a guy saying that he's better than you can beat you shouldn't be seen as disrespectful. Unless David Benavidez is out here cussing.
Let me put this on there. Zero excuses for Canelo.
Yeah.
I'm not I've made zero excuses. We got to stop this idea that I'm making zero excuses. But you telling me right now that you like Canelo. You got a funny way of showing that you like somebody.
No, I just don't make excuses. The same way.
I don't make excuses.
No, I don't make excuses. The same way. Guess what? When AJ's been beaten, I've never ever said, "Oh, well, against the bar, it was inactivity," or against the bar, AJ didn't fight good quality. Like, no, my boy went in there, he went gunslinging him with a younger guy that he shouldn't be gunslinging with, and he lost. Done.
Yeah, Canelo
I didn't start saying, "Oh, you know what? AJ didn't face that many quality opponents going into the fight," or you know what? I feel like AJ's resume up into that time. I just said that. Listen,
here we go.
Bar went in there, and the better man won. That's it.
And the better man won here.
Can't say
but
that.
I just said that.
Oh, inactivity.
But they can also
Then you said
They can
while the person's doing that at that level with that many fights
I'm
at
saying
that
that
age.
there can
And then when
also
I
be
find
variable
B-Hop,
factors
when
for
I find
Canelo.
B-Hop, funnily enough, you've never mentioned that again. Stop the nonsense.
There can be variable factors leading into it, but overall, in over 12 rounds, Crawford put on the best performance I'll ever watch from a boxer. Simple as that. It's not that hard to say. I
Do you
don't
know
think
what?
this
I don't
idea
even,
that
right now, I don't even need you to admit it because the people have seen.
No.
Yo, Trill, I'm not trying to be funny. People have called people worse in boxing.
Yeah,
People
but that's
have
become
called people worse.
everything becomes subjective then if that is the case. People
have
you can't
listen. If you're telling me someone calling you a bitch in boxing is like grounds for not fighting them, then
it's not that.
I don't know
But
what to
when
do.
you do stupid call-outs, why are we going to entertain it? Why not just get a fight that's respectful? And that's what it was. Canelo Crawford is a very respectful build-up. We had a nice bit of trash talking.
Stop it.
And at the end of the day,
Terence
Crawford didn't come bugging.
Call Canelo all sorts of stuff. Stop it.
Yeah. That's Belenga's character. We know what happens with that.
Belanga just being a New Yorker by default, he's gonna call Canelo a pussy and tell him to suck his dick many times just for him being a New Yorker, let alone him personalizing it to Canelo. So stop it. Stop it.
Do you know what? I'm gonna let you. You've had your little moment, so I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Like, Crawford finally got the win, and you managed to finally get one over on me. But you did, and it's fine. It's not a problem. I'm okay with it. I accept it. I wanted to ask though, when it comes to Crawford, you have the belts at 168. Clearly, everyone knows you're not gonna stay there. I'd be surprised if one, he stays there, and two, he goes on a little run there. I look at it with the fact that if you drop the belts, if you can cash cow yourself in any sort of fight in that 160 to 168 catch weight range, you do it. I think a lot of people are thinking he probably does look at 160 and tries to grab a belt there just because then he can say he's won titles in more divisions. Where do you think Crawford goes with it? But also financially, will he get cachet in this where people may look at him as somewhat more of a money man because he's still with Turkey and Riyadh season?
He is, but at the same time, it's kind of like in that division, and we've been saying this for a long time, boxing lacks a lot of stars, and there's just no other stars around either guy. It's just not. Like Trey's saying, it's like, nothing left to prove. And
I get that. My point being is, like, let's say, for example, let's use Canelo, right? I would say financially, he is the money man in boxing.
Yeah.
Then you can argue AJ as well. But when he fights, regardless of the person he's fighting, he's going to get a large purse, like a significant large purse. Off this win, let's say Crawford's got 2 fights there. Do you see that purse being significantly higher or just relatively higher?
I don't even think it will go higher. And I think Crawford is at peace with that. I think he knows, this was the peak. It's okay for that to be the peak. And then now is a case of, as long as I get paid decent amount, let me go to middleweight. And what would that be? Is 5th division? If he goes to middle?
You got 140, 147,
140, 147, 154.
6.
160. Yeah, so he might go middleweight and just get a 6th title. He might be like, guess what? He's gonna get a nice bit of change. It's not gonna be what he could get against Canelo, and that's fair. It's gonna be a nice bit of change though. Yeah, go get your nice bit of change, get your 6th, a belt in your 6th weight class. And then I want him to leave the game before he gets caught by his body going out on him. And I think he probably knows that by the way that, I'm sure he just knows it himself, and I'm sure he probably knows to himself like it's not going to get higher than this in terms of commercial wise. So I would like for him, and it's not going to be worth it to keep on fighting. He's got nothing to prove. He's got probably life-changing money, like you alluded to earlier on, or extra life-changing money, shall I say? Go out, just leave the game. You don't need this no more. So what's this by Trey? Mentioned interview with Stephen A that once he moves up, he never goes back down. I think he was saying from 147 and 154, Because then what annoyed me more, and I like this guy, but he needs to shut the F up. Boots, shut the F up and get a belt at 154.
Whoa, you can't criticize Boots, can you?
Respectfully, Boots, do stuff at 150, mash work at 154, mash your own work. Because the same way I'm looking at Crawford, where this guy had to, you know, crawl up the worst path to where he's got to. The type of path that Crawford took, many wouldn't take it, because that was just being mistreated by a promoter. Bob Arum, who has constantly fumbled guys at top rank, who doesn't know how to make stars, and then a lot of people ducking him. And it's only now that Crawford in his late 30s, and he's lucky. Once again, he's the anomaly, because most fighters at Crawford's age, if they get opportunities at his age now, they're not doing what Crawford's doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear it.
The way I'm looking at Boots now, for Boots to try and not jump on the bandwagon, he's always called him out 147, but it's like, go make your own name, because the way I looked, how I looked at Canelo and Crawford was great first great. It wasn't great first potential. And that's where Boots still is right now. You're at potential. Yes, you became unified at 147, but 154, you still need to show that you're great. Bud has shown that it's great. I don't think Bud goes down to 154. I think 160, probably, like I said, he might go down to 160 just to add another division. Probably, like, he probably feels nice to maybe cut a bit of weight, because I'm sure fighting at your walking around weight, like he probably did at 168, I'm sure it feels nice at the same time.
Shit, if you can fight like that at 168, I would never cut that shit. I ain't even going to camp. I'm eating food.
8 pounds isn't the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, but to answer Trill's question about does Canelo take a financial hit after this loss, I don't know if I call it a hit, but the money is not going to be the same, because whoever Canelo faces next, it's not going to be a big money fight. That's the truth. Now, his base pay is probably so good that to the average boxer, he's still going to make more bank regardless. But he's going to get lower pay. But
this is the thing with Canelo. So his next 2 fights are going to be in Saudi. They'll be in February/March, and then I believe in October. So he's not going to hit the dates that he normally hits, being May and September. I personally believe, and you're going to come out, complain and cry and say it's nasty and everything, I think Crawford is going to drop all the belts. I will say this, I'm a bit worried about potentially the next fight for Canelo. Because I said it before, probably at the start of this year, I got, if the chips fall the way they're meant to fall, I thought it was going to be in September, but obviously he lost to Carlos Adames anyway. But if he hadn't, I thought this September fight would have been Hamza Shiraz, in my opinion. I do think that is going to be the fight in February, where they both line it up, because the only reason
I don't think it'll be so soon. I think Hamza. Wait, who's? This is what's going to hurt me, because you're saying he's got 2 more fights in Saudi. There is no way Canelo's going to go straight away to fight Hamza. He's going to face someone just to get his confidence back and get his brand back up. And then in his last fight in his deal,
probably fights Hamza. The only problem is, I don't know.
Scares me.
The only thing I can think is, if that is the case, you've got to line both guys up.
Hamza's getting positioned well for that. I think Hamza's getting positioned.
What I mean is, I don't want Hamza to have, at his age, the chasing game where you're waiting, because essentially, at his age, I think he's good with activity, because he doesn't make it long work. He makes it quite easy. Came up, big pause. I tried to get my words out, but it was what it is. But my point being is, if you want to, you know what I'd be down for? I don't know if you would do it, but financially it'd still be good. You put Hamza on the undercard wherever Canelo fights in February.
Yeah.
The reason I say you can then build it up. Hamza goes co-main, gets his job done, comes back out for some part of the minute, you face them off, and we line it up for October. You pre-sign it the same way. The same way this was pre-signed with Canelo and Crawford, and I think that could work. Again, I feel a certain way. I will say this about Canelo fighting in Saudi. I don't know what it is.
What I think, do you know what? I don't mind it only for the simple fact that where North America is now with boxing, I think Canelo simply squeezed the juice out.
He has done.
I honestly don't think there's any more juice to squeeze for Canelo in North America. You're not going to break any more records unless it's specifically in Mexico. But then I even think
if he doesn't
fight Mexico, that won't be with Riyadh season.
No,
I think if he doesn't fight in Mexico, that will be a strictly Canelo Promotions farewell.
I think that could happen. But that's just the way I see it. Either if you're not going to give Hamza the fight, put them both on the same card and then line them up to then fight. That's just personally the way I see it. I do also then think as well, his next fight, if Bud drops all the belts, will be for the WBC title.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if it's not. Now, where it gets dicey for him is if he loses that fight. If he loses that fight, I'll be very honest with you. You don't make a fight with Hamza Shiraz then, because he is barbecue chicken.
Oh no, that's when, if he loses that fight, that's when you make the Chris Eubank fight.
Possibly, but then I'd be fuming. I don't think Turkey will give. I think with what he has with Hamza Shiraz,
you're still gonna have to fulfill the contract. Turkey still listen. Whether he wait, hold up. No, we're corrected. His Turkey deal, is that not 3 fights?
No, it's 2. It's 4 fights. So it was 1 in Saudi in May, and then he did the September fight, and then 2 that will line up with Riyadh season.
It was 3. Apologies. I thought it was a 3 fight.
It was 3 in Saudi, and then he gets 1 in September in America.
Okay.
And now the way they're gonna line up, if I'm wrong, fair enough. But I believe it's gonna be you're gonna close out Riyadh season, which is like February 1, and then you're going to somewhat be opening up Riyadh season in October. So that's my thing.
That's gonna hurt.
No, I do agree. This is what I was going to say, though. You're not wrong, Trill. It seems too early.
No, February. Hold up. We're in September. October, November,
December,
January, Feb. 5 months. All you need is what? Training camp's going to be 2 months. You've got 3 months.
We say that. No, but this is my point. How many times have you? And the only reason why it's shorter is you see the periods that you're going to have off. It's that holiday season. How many times do you realistically see a fighter of what I mean by that is I'm not talking about someone who's coming up or in high tier that fights in September, then he's going to come back out in February. I don't see a lot.
Not a lot, but there are some. But what I will say is this. If Canelo still has some fire in him, he'll do that.
I do believe he'll do it. I do believe it.
I also think, to be fair, that's plenty of time.
We say that, but
especially
if you look at the current crop.
At his age as well, this is what I mean. You got to learn from the people that came before you. What I loved about B-Hop is that he always used to say, the older he got, the more he started to realize, I don't need long training camps. I'm old. My body's gone through the ringer. Why am I doing the 3 months training camp? At that point, you should be smart enough to, I don't know if compress is the correct word.
Okay,
that's the word. You should be smart enough to know how to refine your training camp for the older you get.
So let me narrow
for it to be 3 months.
Go on. We've got Shakur right now, last fought in July, right? Apparently this Teofimo Lopez fight is meant to happen. We don't know when it is.
But we already know what it is with Teofimo. He's running. He's been running. He's called at Keyshawn. He's called at Devin. He's called at Shakur. The boy runs. For people that calls Shakur a runner, Teofimo has been running.
Let's look at let's look at AJ for
And
example,
Shakur's
right?
been avoided. Let's also
Yeah,
not forget that.
let's look at
This is
AJ
the
then.
same
Let's
guy.
just do-
This is the same guy that when he was supposed to face, who is his last opponent again?
Cepeda.
Remember, Cepeda was mandatory and he ran from him. So let's not act like
let's
not
use
avoided.
AJ right now. Just and the only reason I'm using that is again similar issue. AJ last sport literally coming to 1 year.
Wait, who are you speaking on?
AJ.
This is so nasty. Stop
No.
it.
I'm just
Someone
I'm
in the
gonna
twilight of their career who's waiting on someone specifically
Canelo's,
after, and he's had surgery.
who's retired. Yeah, no, that's my whole point.
And he's had surgery.
So we don't know the extent of Canelo's injuries naturally, but at the same time, my whole point is he probably isn't going to do that.
So you're giving him excuses. You're giving Canelo excuses.
No. I'm not saying not about this, but I'm just saying in general. I understand Trill's point about fighting back because his regular schedule has always been September and May. I do think he fights in February. No, I do think he fights in February. I personally think he fights in February.
And that's it.
But I do understand why people would say that.
There's no need to make any excuses. If he fights in February, brilliant. And who's just had a baby? You saying Canelo's just had a baby?
Yeah.
Trill?
Yeah.
Oh, if that's the only reasonable excuse. All the other stuff you was chatting, I'm not trying to hear that.
He's on vacation right now. Not that I'm following Canelo. He's on vacation right now. But yeah, because he had a baby whilst in the back end of the training camp.
Yeah.
So, but look, like I said,
you weren't saying that. Trill said
no. Trill said that. But no,
I agree with Trill. Like, yeah,
I don't.
A baby, let him rest.
I don't think you realize. Like, realistically, I will say I get Trill's point about. I don't even think it's a baby. I just think in general his schedule has, but he will honor it because I think Canelo's the type of dude to honor it. But if not,
true. I think Abbas was saying that in terms of Riyadh season, obviously Canelo normally does. That's not Cinco de Mayo. That's Mexican independence, isn't it?
Yeah, and no,
he normally does that. No. I think Abbas was saying because he's contracted to fight in Saudi, it might not be in May.
Yeah, because I think the Saudi ones because that was the big deal that Canelo for the first time is not going to honor his dates when there are and stuff like that. But look, this is how I'm gonna wrap this up before we quickly talk about something else quickly. Fair play, Terence Crawford. You did your thing. You made your bag. But I'll ask you quickly about the legacy side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
This loss for Canelo, and I want you got to be fair. How much does it realistically impact his legacy?
It doesn't.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that.
Listen, this is what I mean when you keep on saying
it's the first time ever you've been nice about this man.
I'm a hate of Canelo. No, Canelo is a great fighter, and this is what Crawford was even saying. Don't discredit Canelo because then that takes away from Crawford. Canelo is a great fighter. It just happens that Crawford is in that, dare I say, God tier level. Like Canelo is very great. Canelo is one of the greatest of his generation, and those that try to speak down on him now, you're nasty, and you wasn't outside when he was going for his run at 168, getting all those belts from becoming undisputed. Yes, exactly, Trey. Like Usyk and like Inoue, those three people have. Here's what I'll say about Canelo. Canelo was his generation of the late 10s and early 20s. That was Canelo. When did he get the 168 undisputed?
I want to say 2011. I might be crazy.
No.
2021.
2021, yeah.
I want to say, let me run it back. But I feel like that was. I feel like it was because.
I feel like Canelo, from like 2015 onwards, or whenever that second Triple G fight was, that was Canelo.
6th of November 2021, he beats Caleb Plant.
Which one made him undisputed against Billy J or Caleb?
No, Caleb Plant, yeah.
So
I remember because he hit him, then that's what you could tell. He killed him like a dog. He just ran onto him.
No, listen, Canelo. This is what I'm saying. No one can take what Canelo done away from him,
except for you, because obviously you tried to do it
from early 2010s. Then he became great against Triple G in the second fight. and then he leveled up and done what he did at 168, and you know, defended it how many times, done what he done in his division, done what he done commercially. You can never take away that from Canelo. For me, I don't even put Mayweather's. I rank Crawford's win over Canelo more than Mayweather's, because Mayweather's one was with
Oh yeah, 100%. That's not even a
all
question.
that rehydration clause. Crawford said, "Have what you want, hydrate to whatever you want. I'm gonna beat you on your terms."
Yeah, no.
That's why
It's
for
not.
me,
It's not
Crawford
even.
is
Yeah,
greater.
it's
But
not. It's not
Canelo,
even.
listen, man, no one can take anything away from Canelo. Like, yeah, he was a future Hall of Famer before. You could argue with a future Hall of Famer before his 168 run.
But
You could argue that.
I will say this then. I want to say it does. Terence Crawford goes on the Mount Rushmore for boxing, potentially.
It's arguable.
The only thing that puts
said.
him aside, not going in,
Mm-hmm.
is maybe the commercial side.
That's
You know
not
what I mean?
necessary, because now he's had those two commercial fights against Spence and against Canelo, and I also think we need to start doing what Crawford suggested, which is let's start talking about things in generations, because
Yeah, I get that as well.
sometimes when people get too nostalgic and they're just like, I've heard people saying that what Crawford done was good, but he couldn't hang with the four kings, and I'm just like, it's a lie. Like, don't be nostalgia merchants to think that Crawford couldn't hang with them. I'm not saying he's going to beat all of them, but to say that he can't hang, when people say that, I'm just like, you're being nostalgia merchants, because as sport evolves, the sportsmen that come after generally should be better than the previous generation. And it's not going to be, it may not always be by the biggest gap, but we should be seeing improvements. Obviously, as sports science evolves, as nutrition evolves and everything, you're going to see better breed of fighters, or you should do. So to act like because you remember how it was back then, and some of you didn't even remember back then. I'm not trying to. That's why I never comment on Sugar Ray Robinson, because I'll be lying if I said, "Oh yeah, I've watched bear fights and Sugar Ray Robinson," and no one can chat to Sugar Ray Robinson.
I always say this: there's only one fighter that I will comment on from start to end from when I was like 9, 10. That's Amir Khan, because that is my guy that I watched from start. So I can tell you, I was here when he lost to Bradis Prescott. I was here when he was doing the ITV run. I was here when Audley Harrison was the main event on ITV boxing. But guess what? I'm only watching that because Amir Khan was start. Yeah, so I can comment on that. I can't comment on. Somewhat I could comment on Pretty Boy Floyd, but you know, a lot of it was the money, man, because I was able to watch that.
Controversial about Pretty Boy Floyd. Shout out Eric. I honestly feel like, even though once again I agree with Crawford when he says that don't compare me to Floyd, we're different generations, and I like what Crawford's saying. I genuinely like that. Keep fighters, when you're talking about greats, let's just keep them in the generations, because the intergeneration thing sometimes it's gonna clash, and some people are gonna think more nostalgically than objectively. However, if I was to entertain a hypothetical, Floyd, if you compare the weight class they fought at 135, Floyd was at his best at 135, which is what a lot of people don't always take into consideration when they talk on Floyd. Floyd at his best was 135 and 140. 147 was his twilight, but he was just so good that everyone else during that time couldn't keep up with him, even though he wasn't at his best. Floyd versus Crawford at 135 and 140, I'm on your side with Floyd. Anything higher, I'm siding with Crawford.
Because that's where 147 you saw Terence Crawford knocking people out. Yeah. And that's where you started seeing Floyd understanding defense is going to win me stuff. Exactly. So I'm going to go the distance. So I get that. I'm with that as well. Like, I think 147 Terence Crawford is very, very, very good. But I just want to end with this. Ricky Hatton, it came literally out of nowhere. Like, I know what I was, because I was like, I'm gonna have to prepare for Tuesday. I'm gonna have to, whatever happens with that. And then that just came. it's a weird one with Ricky Hatton, you know, because I think he was respected a lot for what he did for British boxing, but
For
also
sure.
he took it on the global stage. He got
Big
Floyd
time ever.
Mayweather to come to the UK, and he took from, okay, this is going to sound controversial to a lot of casual fans. He opened the eyes to Floyd Mayweather, in my
Oh,
opinion.
listen,
Yeah,
for sure. Or at
same,
least I
same.
say internationally.
Yes,
Internationally, for sure.
and I kind of want to say a little bit to Manny Pacquiao. Maybe not as much, but I want to say a little bit.
Nah, I think Pacquiao by the time Hatton faced Pacquiao was Pacquiao, but
Yeah,
Mayweather,
Mayweather. I want to say that was like, okay, British fans or just okay.
Mayweather, remember Mayweather came out of retirement.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying? And that you could argue, obviously, Money Mayweather was born with De La Hoya, but that was the stateside, and
yeah. And
that was
when he
stateside.
came to the UK, it was like, yo, he was,
Yeah,
but it was
because
like, we
I
know who
remember
Floyd
myself.
is.
I will admit that's when I really got into boxing
Mm,
at a deeper level. Is when it was Ricky Hatton versus Mayweather 24/7. But that was the first time that I'd been riled up by a fighter that made me. I was Team Hatton at the time. I didn't know
yeah,
too much about Mayweather, and then it was only more after I got to know about Mayweather after the win more that I was just like, oh, I like this guy as a
yeah.
fighter. But yeah, that helped, and I think maybe we'll probably credit Hatton a lot for the international acclaim that he started to get because yeah, that fight really helped him overseas outside of because De La Hoya, as much as he was a pay-per-view star, he was
It
on the
was,
tail end of his career.
yeah.
Whereas when he faced Hatton, that's when the big changes came through, and that's when, yeah, I honestly think that was a big catalyst for Mayweather, and Hatton was a big proponent of that because he wasn't just a lying down opponent. He came in there to swing. His demeanor got the people on his side, and even in that 24/7, we got to see more of Hatton.
Mm.
And as big as Hatton's profile was, Hatton put the UK on his back, and I think more people got to know Ricky Hatton because of that. And he was just a credit to UK boxing.
And do you know what's sick? It's like when you, and I know a lot of people do it, but it's like, I'll say, because I've been in this boxing space, wherever I've been, when I tell you, I was like, I don't know if I should approach him because I don't know if he wants to talk. Ricky would talk. He genuinely actually would just chat to you and stuff. I remember, like, I was like, Ricky, can we do an interview? He goes, yeah, but we can have a chat for a bit if you want. So we just had a chat. Then when we
Bless.
did the interview, it was like, cool, I'll do it, but I also want my son in there as well. So it was like, I want to bring my son into it. And obviously, Campbell retired, fine, no problem. But it was always a case of we can have a chat. But then if we're doing something, which I rated as it's not just for me, it's I want my son involved as well. And then like everybody I've seen, like they've all put something good about this guy out. So you know what? Rest in peace, man. It is crazy. Like that's I know it sounds deep when I say this. I think we're in that space where there's going to be people that die that we grew up young watching, and it's kind of crazy for me to be like, I'll be like, yo, I remember this about this fighter or about this wrestler or whatever, and it's kind of mad as well. Like we might be getting a bit old, but like these guys are also passing away. But yeah, shout out Ricky Hart, man. Rest in peace. He is, I think, he's respected as a British legend for me.
For sure. Oh, beyond. This guy had people going abroad for him like that.
Yeah.
He's the man.
And like the way Man City did their thing, man. Diehard Man City fan. I don't know if I
Yeah.
agree with that. Come Chelsea, but listen, fair play. Like, you know, I'm gonna give you the final words. But yeah, Ricky Hatton, rest in peace, man.
Ricky Hatton, rest in peace to the people. Like, subscribe, comment. Condolences to the Hatton family. Much love to him. And yeah, signing out.
Before you sign out, on a brighter note, I will still rock with my boy Canelo Alvarez till he retires. Just gonna put that. I am not one of them bandwagon dickheads on the internet that are texting me in the middle of round 9 and saying, bro, I told you, shut up. Nobody told me. There's only a few handful of people that have the claim to say they told me that Crawford would win. You can have one. My manager at work, Millie, shout out to her. She can have one. The rest of you, suck a dick. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say to that. I hated all of these assholes that were coming at me. I don't care about you, Eric, respectfully, in the nicest way.
Hey, Eric, we're here, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can have it, but all these can suck a dick. Listen, like, share, subscribe, and peace.
It's another band. All the Mars and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag by it. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.